Welcome into the Bambino's Cafe studio here on the Missouri Sportsman Network. Bambino's Italian Cafe at Lone Pine and East Battlefield, home of the Tip-Off Club, every Monday at noon. This Monday will be our awards banquet. We invite you to come by and join us. Well, we go up north once again to Meadville High School and head basketball coach Steve Carvajal, 28-0, 58 in a row now, I believe.
59.
59 in a row, Coach. Walk us through that Class 1 District 12 tournament with Northwestern at Menden and then Brunswick. Those two games before we talk about Green City and then what you've got coming up next.
Well, the Northwestern game was a semifinal game, and they were overmatched. Good group of little girls, and we shot really well. I think we hit 17 threes that game, and it was over pretty quick. We just wanted to get through that game healthy. Like we had said earlier, Paige had some back spasms, so that was her first time to do anything in about a week. And then we played a much improved Brunswick team who has a 6'1" post and another 6-footer who had just come back from knee surgery about a month ago and kind of changed their whole season. They run a really solid high-low, and we tried to take them out of everything they could do because if they get the ball across half court, they're pretty effective. And once again, we shot well in that game and came out with a nice win, and we got to work on some things because in the sectional, the Green City has a 6'3" post. She's not very athletic, but she's very, very large. And we got after them everywhere. We had played them 2 weeks ago and had won by about 30. They had actually played fairly well at times, but this game was over early. We didn't shoot particularly well, but I thought our defense was solid. And we came out with a nice win against Green City. And, of course, now we have to get ready for Cairo, who will be obviously the best team we played this year.
Yeah, you've got some familiar opponents this year with, the Brashear, Glasgow, La Plata, Salisbury, and South Shelby. Obviously, you've defeated all of those, but the scores are not that much off as you compare scores. Tell us about what you know about Cairo.
Well, Cairo returns basically 9 girls that played last year. They only graduated one starter, and she's been replaced with some quality players. They've got a 6'3" post and then a couple girls that are 5'11". Their only losses this year have been to Quincy, Illinois, who is, obviously a Class 5 school, and they've lost to Tipton, which once again isn't saying much because Tipton's the cream of the crop. They've lost to Jeff City Helias, who is big time, and then they've lost twice to South Shelby in close games, who we beat in a close game. So, people that don't know basketball will look at comparative scores and say, we're going to handle them, and that's just not going to be the case. This is a situation where you've got two big teams getting together. I don't mean that by stature. You have one big team and one small team, but it's going to be a war. Thankfully, it's at home. I don't want to say that doesn't mean anything because it does. We should be comfortable here, but it's going to be quite a game. And the sad thing is you hate games like this because in some states it would be seeded and there'd be 8 teams left, and we would be one of those 8 teams, and Cairo would definitely be one of those teams. So a team in my mind that wins this game, and I don't want to shortchange anybody else because I still think Delta may be the best team. Whoever comes out of this has a great chance to win the state tournament. It's a shame that one of them's not going to get to go, and obviously I don't want that to be us, but we've got our work cut out for us.
What are you doing between now and then to kind of get prepared? It's Wednesday and we're conducting this interview. Obviously, you get to stay at home. There's no travel. I just got done visiting with Coach Darren Archer at Walnut Grove. They've got a 4.5-hour drive. They've got to go down and stay the night as they prepare for Delta. But what are you doing between now and then?
Yeah, that's a nightmare. But, we've been pretty blessed because, you and I talked during the year. I try to schedule, obviously I'm a KU fan, so I try to schedule things like Coach Self does. Games are going to make us better. Put us in scenarios that might help us at the end of the year, whether it be wherever we play, certain defenses, certain styles of play. And I try to schedule things this year to where we finished up at home, knowing that we were going to be at home. And I want us to get comfortable shooting in our own gym, if that makes sense. So we've been in the gym more than anybody in the state of Missouri shooting the basketball. And I think it shows. Nobody puts in the hours we do. You can say you do, but, obviously the 3 coaches' daughters, they're in the gym constantly. And one of the things we did yesterday was I gave them a day off because I know we're pretty drained. Of course, the sun was out, and I jokingly said, "Hey, go get some sun today." And then it dropped 30 degrees in 30 minutes. But we used yesterday to get healthy. We watched film, and we watched film again before school. We do a ton of that. As a matter of fact, I've got, and I know they've got film on me too, but we've got 18 different films to look at. We're trying to break down patterns, et cetera. But we spend a lot of time in the film room. And then, of course, today we'll treat this as a little harder practice. We'll run through everything we can possibly do and see. And then tomorrow we'll shoot the basketball and obviously try to go into the game healthy Friday. So we're just trying to avoid any freak injury, but just to polish our game and break down what we're going to see and what we expect to see Friday.
You know, if I wake up, or listeners or viewers wake up Saturday morning and see that Meadville won this game, are you going to be able to point at one or two stats that you've got to control if you're going to come out on top?
You know, that's the great thing. I like talking to you about basketball, guys, as you know. And I just spent 30 minutes this morning, and the one thing that if we do it, we'll be right there at the end, and that's rebound. Cairo is not an exceptional outside shooting team. Doesn't mean they can't hit a bunch of threes tomorrow or Friday, excuse me, but they rebound the ball well. Their center, unless you've got a big kid, which we do not, demands a double team, and we're going to have to double. I don't mind trading twos, but I don't want her to end up with 30 or 40 points. So we will have to double the help, which means the backside has got to get down and rebound. And I told the girls, both jokingly and chastising them, that if we get beat on the boards, it's because we're not very smart and it's a lack of effort. And that's not something you're ever going to see out of us. But, you know, you can't get yourself under the goal and behind the backboard. You've got to go find a body, step back and find a body, because they do a great job on the offensive glass. And that will be the difference in the game. Whether we shoot well or not, that will be the difference.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. You've been generous with the Missouri Sports Network over the past couple of years, and we enjoy you and your kids being on the show.
Well, we sure appreciate the coverage and look forward to watching this. So thank you again.
You bet. You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.